memory halls, where the dust is thick and the silence calls. Books tell stories of the things unseen, of foxes wild and spirits keen. Whispers in the stacks they creep, ghostly chills that steal your sleep. Paranormal truths no one believes, they linger here like autumn's leaves. Bibles open to verses dark, stories written to leave their mark. The wildlife outside hears the moans, silent foxes, the forest groans. The last of these you cannot tame, a history buff who knows no shame. Paranormal life outside hears the moans, silent foxes, the forest groans. Past a beast you cannot tame, a history buff who knows no shame. Paranormal tales in every spine, haunting truths that cross the line. Whispers in the stacks they creep, ghostly chills that steal your sleep. Paranormal truths no one believes, they linger here like autumn's leaves. Spirits waltz through moonlit air, books fall down as if to dare. Foxes howl in the wooded shade, they guard the truths that time forbade.
Alrighty. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the library. So glad you could join me this evening. Let me get my camera on. There we go. Lenny, what are you doing so far back? Let's move you up. There we go. That's better, right? You want to be in the picture, don't you? Why you leaned over like this? I don't know what's going on here today. You know, a little off kilter. Well, whatever. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining me. Let me start by saying hello. Hello, hey, teacher. Good to see you. Thindu, my brother, is in the house. Gianni Catalano is here. Emmanuel Spataro is here. Excellente. There we go. Let's light our candle. I don't only have one candle tonight. I don't feel like doing more than one candle. Hollywood in the house. Hello, Hollywood. Sweet Tea, the author of that wonderful song. Composer of that song, I should say. Zelda is here. Great to see you, Zelda. Sven Larson was one of the first ones here. Great to see you. Paulie Donuts in the house. Paulie Donuts, great to see you, my friend. Did I miss anyone? Stiggs, of course, was here before. I don't know if he still is. He's a very busy guy. He's out on the town. Tammy Thompson, good to see you. How are you? Anyone left that I missed? I hope not. I don't think so. If I did, just call me out. Arlene Merlino, great to see you. All right. Well, this is our second week of ghost stories, Christmas related, right? Christmas related ghost stories. I have 5 of them this evening, I believe. Then I have some short paranormal stuff to look at. 4 things, maybe 4 paranormal things. I don't know. Real quick. Podfather won't be here. I don't know if Wasada will be. He might be here to join at that time, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Otherwise, we'll call it a short night, you know? Excuse me. All right. So let's talk about our second set of Christmas ghost stories. Like I said last week, the theory or the concept of ghost stories at Christmas time is kind of foreign to us today, but during the Victorian era, that was the thing to do. Sit around a fire and tell ghost stories. So, a pretty cool tradition that I think should be resurrected, if I don't say so myself. So, I found some great ghost stories that were all related to Christmas in one way or the other, and I want to convey them to you for your consideration. Maybe you want to tell them around your fire on Christmas Eve. Who knows, right? So, let us begin. Before I do that, please click that like button. Click it away, click it away, click it away. And if you want to support the channel, become a member or, hit the bonus, the what do we call the thing, the donate thing there, whatever the heck you call it, something like that. But anyway, it is what it is. So let's start off. Now, our first ghost story is called Resurrection Mary. And it sounds pretty creepy, right? Resurrection, as if she's resurrecting. But resurrection is really the name of the cemetery in which this ghost story happens. It's Resurrection Cemetery in Chicago, Illinois. Now, this story, and let me show you what it looks like, though, by the way. Let me show you what Resurrection Cemetery looks like. Here's what Resurrection Cemetery looks like in Chicago, Illinois. It's kind of cool looking, if you ask me. And the road that goes by it is Archer Ave, which is the road that is haunted by the ghost of Mary. So pretty cool area in question. Very creepy looking. A lot of old cemetery, a lot of old tombstones and an old structure there. I don't know if that's a mausoleum. I'm not sure what that is, but it looks pretty cool to me with the stones front there, the stone front that separates it from the street. Pretty cool area. And obviously someplace that would be haunted by someone, right? Understood. Hello, Gerard Cercelli. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. All right, so what's the story about Resurrection Mary that haunts this cemetery and Archer Ave? Mainly Archer Ave, more so than the cemetery. She's buried in this cemetery, but her ghost seems to walk up and down Archer Ave. It only happens during Christmas. So why is that? What's the reason for this? Why is this haunting tied to the Christmas season? Well, let's find out. Hello, Ryan. Good to see you. All right. Let's get rid of this. All right. So, our story takes place in 1922, and it was on a Christmas Eve dance where our story takes place. Well, it seems Mary was a young girl. Thank you, Zelda. That's awesome. Thank you so much. You're the best. Thank you so much for supporting the show. That's great. Gerard, my friend, what are you doing? I hope you're well. I haven't seen you in such a long time. I was getting worried. Hope you're doing okay. We all miss you. Glad it's great to see you here tonight. That's awesome. So anyway, back to our story. Mary, she's attending a Christmas Eve dance in the year 1922, and it takes place at the O. Henry Ballroom, and she's there with her boyfriend, who she has been with for quite a while, and she's in love with him and is very happy with him. Unfortunately, what happens is that night they have a hell of a fight, a terrible fight at the dance. No one knows exactly what it was or what caused the fight, but it was so bad that she storms out. She storms out and leaves the dance, leaves her boyfriend there, and decides to walk home. And on that fateful night in 1922, it was not good weather. It was snowing, it was cold, it was windy, and the roads were quite hazardous. And she was walking along the roads at late at night after this fight, and unfortunately, a car, a Model T, hits her and kills her and ends her life. She's laid to rest in Resurrection Cemetery. Now, what they say happens, though, is that each and every Christmas, not just Christmas Eve, but Christmas season in general, so between Thanksgiving and Christmas, that her ghost will be seen walking aimlessly along Archer Ave as if she had just left her Christmas Eve ball, dressed in her party outfit, her party gown, looking very sorrowful, I guess, stressed out, looking for her way home in this terrible storm. Now, there have been stories that people have claimed to have picked up a beautiful blonde woman on Archer Ave during the Christmas season. She asks for a ride home. She gives some vague directions, not really specific enough for the driver to take her to a specific place, only points in a direction. The driver proceeds, and as they pass Resurrection Cemetery, she vanishes in front of their very eyes. So quite a startling situation, I would think, for anyone who's picking up a beautiful girl, trying to take her home on a cold Christmas season night, and suddenly she vanishes out into the cemetery, I guess, from which she came. But basically, that's the story of Resurrection Mary. She patrols Archer Ave during the Christmas season, pretty obviously because that's when she met her demise during Christmas Eve, walking home on that very street. And interestingly enough, the cemetery that she's buried in is on the same street at which she met her end. So quite a creepy little tale there that has held on over the years with people seeing her or interacting with her, so to speak, as they might take her home as a phantom hitchhiker. Very similar to other stories I think we've heard in other parts of the country where there's a phantom hitchhiker. There's actually one not far from me in Hackettstown, New Jersey. Supposedly there is a phantom girl that is people pick up and take for a ride. So similar in that vein. Resurrection Mary in Chicago, Illinois. All right, that is number one. Hey, Mustang Mike, good to see you. Glad you could join us. All right, let's go on to story number two. Now, story number two takes place in England, London specifically, and it centers around St. Paul's Cathedral. Now, let me show you what St. Paul's Cathedral looks like. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Before I do that, I want to show you something. Supposedly, this is a picture that someone took of Resurrection Mary walking along the road. Now, this to me looks like it's just a blurred vision of somebody. You really can't see who it is, but supposedly this was claimed to be a picture of Resurrection Mary that someone took on Archer Ave on a Christmas night. So Christmas season night. So for what it's worth, this is what they claim it is. I don't know. From the face, I could definitely see a face. I can't tell if it's a woman or a man, quite frankly, but it's definitely looks like a blurred picture. Like just because the pictures look, you can even see a smile on the person's face. So I don't know, but someone claimed that this was Resurrection Mary. They saw her as they were driving by, and they quickly snapped a picture. Who knows? Hello, Ben. Good to see you. CG2 is in the house. Thank you for joining, CG2. Great to see you. All right, let's get rid of Resurrection Mary there. All right. Back to St. Paul's Cathedral. Now, I wish James was here because James could tell us about St. Paul's Cathedral, I would think, since it's in London, but I know it's early in the morning for him. Tammy said that looked like a Muslim woman wearing a scarf. I guess. I don't know. I mean, to me, it's just a blurred picture of a person. You know what I mean? It didn't look like a spirit to me. It looked like a blurred picture of a person, but who knows? All right. So St. Paul's Cathedral. Let's show you what St. Paul's Cathedral looks like now. Now, our story takes place in 1940, but this is what it looks like now. Here's St. Paul's Cathedral in London, a beautiful structure. Very famous structure for the Church of England. You know, just a beautiful structure there. Now, during 1940, during the Blitz, when Germany was bombarding London routinely, Paulie Donuts with the memberships. Look at this. This is awesome. Hey, Paulie Donuts, thank you so much. You're always supporting the show. That's awesome. Let's see who gets them. The Bull, 9177. Midwest DJ. Tony Silo gets one. Arm Distance. Haven't seen him in ages. Arm Distance gets one. And David Cameron gets one. David Cameron. Haven't seen him in a while either, David. So good. Congratulations to those who get it. And a big thank you to Paulie Donuts for always supporting the channel. That is awesome. Spreading those memberships around. All right. So back to the story. Now, St. Paul's Cathedral, during the Blitz of London, when Germany was bombarding it, got severely damaged. Severely damaged that most of it was in rubble, like it was not usable. So on Christmas Eve, 1940, it really was not usable. There were no services held there because of the Blitz. It was so damaged and destroyed that it couldn't happen. So, however, also due to the blackouts at night. So, you know, traditionally this would be a place for midnight mass. So people would congregate here, midnight mass on Christmas Eve to welcome the holiday, welcome the birth of Christ. But it couldn't happen in 1940. The blackouts because of the Blitz, as well as the structure itself being pretty destroyed, really couldn't happen. However, in spite of no activity being planned and no activity actually being allowed at the time because of the state of the war, there were countless people who swore they heard the choir, the famous St. Paul's choir, singing Christmas carols on Christmas Eve, 1940. So you can imagine a war-torn London with rubble everywhere, blackouts all the time, death falling from the sky from Nazi bombardment. And in the still of Christmas Eve, the sounds of a choir singing Christmas carols to welcome in the birth of Christ. You can imagine this. And when people went to see what was going on, there was nothing there. The choir, there was no one there. There was no one there at all. Yet so many people heard this and were summoned to the location that the air marshals or the wardens had to disperse them because they weren't supposed to be on the streets at night because of the bombardments. But so many people heard the choir singing that they came out. So it's an amazing story of resilience during the war of the English people of Great Britain and the possible sign of from God, from a greater being, that there is hope, you know, for this nation, a hope for this nation under its darkest times. Christmas Eve, there is hope. And so this ghostly choir was singing Christmas carols in spite of what was happening to the country at that time. So pretty amazing story. But it hasn't happened since, which is kind of disappointing. You know, since that time, there has not been any accounts of ghostly choirs or anything in St. Paul's Cathedral. It's just that one year, 1940, in the heart of the Blitz, that this manifestation occurred and provided hope for the Londoners who were dealing with this attack. So, pretty cool story on Christmas Eve, 1940. All right. Joe Della, how are you? Joe Della, did you just hear my London story? So hopefully you you heard that one. Great to see you, by the way. Oh, Suzanne was here. I didn't miss her. Oh, hi, Suzanne. How are you? Wait a minute. Suzanne is not always blue? Why not? I don't understand. Suzanne was always blue, I thought. Is she not blue? She's not. She must have changed her channel. Let's she must have another channel here. So let's remedy that. So she'll be blue the next time. It seems like she had to leave, but she will be blue the next time she's here. There you go. Remedied, done. All right. On to number 3. Story number 3. The Ghost of Pudding Plum Hill, New Hampshire. Now, let me show you what Pudding Plum Hill looks like, if I may. I hope I still have it open. I don't know if I have it open, though. Let us see here. Let us see there. Let us see there here. Here it is. I do have it open. Great. Okay. Now, this is Pudding Plum Hill, New Hampshire. As you can see, it's quite a hill here. At the time, there's a fence here and there's bushes here. And the story, the story doesn't really gel with this because the story takes place well before this was built up. So at the time of this story, when the origin of the story, this was more rural, and I don't know exactly when this photo was taken. This might have been taken in the late 1900s, like 1990s, I think, is what I believe this was taken in. But you get the gist of what it looks like, the hill, right? So this hill, now the story goes that sometime in the mid 1800s, there was a tradition of sleigh rides drawn by horses on this particular hill. That often, on Christmas nights or Christmas season nights, there would be sleigh rides offered, and the locals would go and ride down the hill in celebration. Well, one time in the mid 1800s, however, there was a ghastly accident where a horse bucked, the sleigh crashed, and everyone in the sleigh died. And it was a terrible tragedy, and it happened on Christmas night. So it made it even more troublesome, more horrible to have something like that occur on Christmas night when people are celebrating. Hello, Osada. Thank you for coming in. Hello, Donna. Good to see you. And since then, however, every Christmas night, there have been reports of the sounds of galloping hooves and sleigh bells on Pudding Plum Hill. And it is said that it happens every Christmas night. It echoes throughout this hill area. And many believe it is a result of the spirits of that tragic accident that happened in the 1850s, which are rehashing, reliving it over and over again. And Christmas night seems to be the closest to, most relating to their demise. That's when it occurred. And therefore they reincarnate every Christmas night, whether there's snow on the ground or not. And no one ever sees anything, which is interesting. No one has ever reported any type of visual manifestation, only the sounds, the galloping sounds of the horse and the sleigh bells ringing throughout the land. So It's a powerful audio type of manifestation that happens every Christmas night. So someone each year hears this on Pudding Plum Hill and has a story to tell. But there's not much more to it other than that this tragic accident happened, and some believe that this is a residual haunting that just happens to manifest on the anniversary of it every year on Christmas night. So the ghostly sleigh of Pudding Plum Hill, New Hampshire. All right, that was number 3. Did anybody come in? Bill C. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for coming in. The judge is in the house. Hello, Judge. Great to see you. Thank you for coming in. Everyone is stopping by tonight. This is awesome. I guess my promo was helpful. I did a promo this week on Wednesday to remind everybody. So I'm glad that it seemed to help bring more people in. That's great. Awesome. All right. The 4th story is the ghost of Anne Boleyn. Now, Anne Boleyn, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, was King Henry VIII's wife that he had executed. Quite a terrible story, and there's a whole thing about that. If you're interested in that, in 16th century England and Henry VIII and what went on with his wives, etc. He was not a nice guy. He was not a good guy, and Anne Boleyn was was his second wife, if I'm not mistaken. Second wife, and he ends up having her executed, beheaded, actually. But the story goes that her family, because she was wealthy as well, she was a royal, she was of a wealthy family. It is said that her family owned a place called Hever Castle in Kent. Now, it is said that she loved this place throughout her life. She always enjoyed being there. She grew up there and would return there often whenever she could. It was her place, her fun, her happy place, her place where she enjoyed herself. So it is said that her spirit manifests itself at Hever Castle every Christmas Eve. And why is that? No one really knows why, the connection to Christmas Eve, other than that she was famous for liking Christmas Eve, and enjoying it. But many people have said, now the castle is a historical site, obviously, and it's decorated for Christmas and such on and so on and so forth each year. But many have said that over the years, if you're there on Christmas Eve, if the staff had been there, if there's an event there or whatever there might be, many people have reported seeing Anne Boleyn's ghost walking solemnly towards the castle, walking from the fields through the snow, through the drifting snow, coming up to the castle. Now I'm going to show you what Hever Castle looks like. Hever Castle. Here we go. Here's Hever Castle. Quite a beautiful structure, medieval structure. It has a moat, as you can see. It's quite a beautiful thing, quite a beautiful historical site. And in winter, obviously, it could be covered in snow on Christmas, which would make it even more intriguing and mystical. But hey, Bobo, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Great to see you. So imagine the ghostly spirit of Anne Boleyn walking through the snow towards the castle, coming into the castle to take a spot in front of the Christmas tree, where people have said they've seen the ghost come actually into the castle and sit down in front of the Christmas tree. So not a scary sight. Either sit by the fire or by the Christmas tree. I would think it's more of a relaxing sight, or more of a peaceful sight on a Christmas Eve, to have a visit from Anne Boleyn's ghost in Hever Castle. So there you have it. There we go. There you have it. The ghost of Anne Boleyn, Hever Castle. Every Christmas Eve, she shows up again. So quite a cool story to see. I would get quite a cool thing to witness. All right. Now, the 5th and final story, which is our most involved story, as always. I always save the most involved story to last. But This is the story of the slain highwayman of Morden, Kent, England. Now, he at this we're talking about the late 1700s. That's where our story begins, 1780s. And at the time, there was a highwayman, a famous highwayman. And what I mean by a highwayman was a robber, a scoundrel, someone who would be out, excuse me, would be out at night patrolling the roads, looking to prey on travelers, to rob them of their goods. Now, there was a notorious man, highwayman, by the name of Gilbert. They only knew his first name, and he would patrol the roads in Marden, Kent, and prey on royalists. I mean, on noblemen, because noblemen had the money, right? So noble families in carriages would be his prey. Now, just for purposes of visualization, this is probably what you would see if you were traveling the roads of Marden, Kent at night. You might encounter this scoundrel looking to take your goods away from you, your jewels, your money, whatever you have away from you. And he was so good at this, he would often escape, he would time and time again escape without being found and disappear into the marshlands and never be into the moors and never be found. It's quite interesting, and some people even thought he was supernatural because of his ability to vanish without a trace. And he was so dedicated to his trade that he would be out there every night, even Christmas Eve. So our story takes place in the late 1780s on Christmas Eve. And at that time, a father and an adult daughter, quite wealthy, were attending a Christmas Eve ball. And they were returning. It was late. It was almost midnight. They were returning to their home and driving along through Marden, Kent, when they came upon, standing in the road, something like this: Gilbert, the famous highwayman. And he stops the carriage at gunpoint and demands that they get out and present him with their goods. Well, the carriage was driven by the servant of this father and daughter, and he complies at the instructions of his master. He stops the carriage, begins to dismount and open the carriage door, the carriage door, and the first one out is the daughter. So the still at gunpoint, but the coachman helps the daughter out. She exits the carriage and on the side of the road. And just as the father is about to exit as well, remember, under the guns drawn against them by this notorious highwayman, Gilbert's gun misfires, goes off by accident. Now, it doesn't kill anyone, doesn't hit anyone, but the firing of the gun is such to startle the horses of the carriage, and the carriage takes off. It takes off with the father still in the carriage. And at the same time, Gilbert's horse is startled, bucks, and drops him to the floor, to the ground, and he loses his pistol. So imagine this. The carriage is bolting down the road with the owner, with the father in it. The coachman is running rampantly after the coach, and Gilbert is on his back with the daughter at the side of the road. Well, eventually, several yards down the road, the coachman catches up to the horses and is able to stop them. And the father, the father who's in the carriage as well, tells him, "Let's go back. My daughter is there." So they turn the coach around and they go back. Now, when they get back, what they find is simply Gilbert's body with hunched over the side of the road with a knife in his back, and his daughter is nowhere to be found. And the story goes that his daughter vanished, never to be seen from again. So she presumably was the murderer of this famous highwayman and vanished into the moors herself. Let me hold on. Let me get this out of here. And the backstory to this is that supposedly, you might ask yourself, what drove this young girl to do this? Well, the story is that this family, the gentleman's son and this girl's brother, was previously murdered by this highwayman Gilbert in the past, being stopped much like this, and he didn't comply and ended up being murdered. And the daughter or the sister, whatever you want to call her in that capacity, swore revenge and that she would not stop until she took the life of Gilbert, and said that she did it on this Christmas Eve. She took the life of Gilbert, and she herself vanished into the moors, never to be seen again. So it's quite a creepy tale that happened that Christmas Eve in the 1780s. Now, the ghost part of this occurs now that Gilbert's spirit is said to be trapped on this very road, but can only manifest on Christmas Eve, the night that he lost his, revenge was taken upon him. And many people will see him horseback, much like the picture I showed you, in full apparition of the ghost, as I showed you, wandering up and down this road in Marden, Kent, either looking for someone to prey on or just lamenting the mistakes that drove him to this end, that he ended up the victim of revenge for taking lives in the pursuit of his thievery or robbery. Many people think he's looking for forgiveness of those sins. That's why he patrols back and forth, because no one has ever had any encounter with him that was negative. They just seem to see him riding solemnly along the road, looking for, I guess, redemption or forgiveness for the lives he took in order to free his soul being captured along this road. But he can only come forward on Christmas Eve, and no one ever sees him throughout the rest of the year. It's only on Christmas Eve. So there you have it, the story of the slain highwaymen of Marden, Kent. Quite an interesting one, especially how the daughter vanishes and is never seen from again. What became of her, history does not know. Only that she is believed to be the murderer of Kent, to avenge her brother's death. So, quite an interesting tale. And that's your fifth and final story. So we had the highwaymen, we had the ghost of Anne Boleyn, we had the ghost of Plum Pudding Hill, the ghostly sleigh ride. We had the ghost choir of St. Paul's Cathedral, and we had Resurrection Mary. All take place on either Christmas Eve or Christmas night, and seem to rehash themselves year after year after year. So there you have 5 Christmas spirits that you never heard of before, but now you know. So I hope you enjoyed those tales. I have another set next week, a final set of 5 that we'll talk about, but quite interesting. I never knew that there were so many tales associated with Christmas, so many ghostly legends that are directly linked with Christmas the way they are. All right. So there you have it. Most Simeon Girl says it's known as the most beautiful castle. Yeah, I would think so. It looks beautiful. I couldn't find a Christmas picture of it though. That I mean, I didn't look really hard, but I couldn't find an easily available picture of it decorated for Christmas. I was looking to get one of those, to show on the show, but I couldn't find one. So if you find one, let me know. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad you liked them, because I thought that I'm not going to waste your time with, unless I like them. I have to like them. First, I have to like the story to tell the story. At least that's how I feel. All right, cool. Now, I don't know if Osada is around. I know he was here before. Um, yeah, Bill, see, right? You know, it's a tragedy, a tragedy. So that father lost both his son and his daughter, right? The daughter never came back. Nobody knows. Okay, Osada, hold on one second. Hold on one second here. All right, here we go. Osada did not leave, Steggs. He's here. He just said he's here. So there's the link. And it's, hold on. It is also time for. Hello there, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Thank you for coming up because our friend Todd Father is too popular. What can I say?
He is. And I almost didn't make it either, but they canceled my, they postponed the Santa parade that I had tonight until
okay.
next Friday. So,
all right. What is it, next week?
Yeah, they're going to do it next Friday. We've had record flooding, so they're just letting things dry out. It finally stopped raining, but it's been raining nonstop.
Oh, wow.
So, in fact, they declared it like a state of emergency type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was massive flooding. So we're all good now, though.
All right. Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah, we've had snow and ice here. No rain, snow and ice, and it's really frigid. I don't even know what the temperature is now. It was 20 degrees most of the day today here. It's cold.
Oh, wow. That's super cold.
Yeah, I mean, normally it's not like that here during December. This is strange. I remember when I was a kid, it was kind of like this, but I don't remember this in a while, being this cold this quickly. It's like right after Halloween, it just turned cold here. So, all right, let's see what we got here. I've got some pictures. Now, you're going to like this first one, I think, because what was it last week we were talking about The Shining a little bit?
Yes. Yep.
We found a ghostly picture taken in the Stanley Hotel. So let's start with that one.
Okay.
Hold on here. All right. What is going on here? Wait a minute. That's not it. Hold on. Where is it? Okay. Here it is. Now I'm going to show you this in two parts. Now, here is the first one. This hallway is going to look familiar to you.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, do you see something down at the end of the hallway here?
For sure.
Right. There's something there, right? There's somebody there, or somebody's there at least, right? Somebody's there. Now, I'm going to show you. Supposedly this was taken in a burst. So this was this was a photo, and then the other photo, there's nobody there. Then this photo happens, and then they blew up the photo. So let me show you what the blown up photo looks like. Down here. All right, here we go. This is what the blown up picture looks like.
Oh, damn.
So it's obviously, now we could talk about and we could argue about whether it's a ghost, but at a minimum, it is a person dressed like the 1890s. Like it's no one dresses like this in this day and age. It's a woman, right? It's a dress from the Victorian era. And to me, it looks like she's walking away from the camera.
Yeah, I could totally see it. And yeah.
Because a
But
purse has like a little black purse.
the feet are awfully narrow together to be walking.
Right. They do look right. I mean, but if she's walking like in step, like
Yeah.
one foot in front of the other, I don't know.
You couldn't pay me to go in that hotel by myself.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you. I would never stay in that hotel. No way. No way.
Yeah, I mean, and it's weird too because like there's a lot going on where her shoulders are at.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like those two twins are hiding in there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a creepy.
It's creepy. It's a creepy photo. Now, whether this is a person dressed up, you know what I mean? I don't know, but it's if it is, they know how to they know how to put together a good picture. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's the type of thing that'll make you lose a little sleep.
Yep. Exactly. All right. So that's one. Now, let me show you this one. This is another burst picture. Okay, so the picture's taken right after another. This one, I'm going to show you the first picture taken, and as you'll see, there's nothing unusual about it. This is taken at a camp, in the kitchen of a camp. The kids are getting together and doing whatever they're doing. I don't know, whatever they're doing with food and stuff. But here's a picture that was taken. Now it looks just a picture of kids. Nothing unusual about it. But look at. Let me see. For the next picture, I'm going to show you. Look at you see this girl in the front with the yellow. Behind her, there's a girl there that's standing there with like her hands, or it looks like her hands down near her neck, right?
Yeah,
in black. Now in the next picture, look to her left in this picture, and you're going to see something. So let's go to that. If I can just get the cursor to go where it's supposed to go. Okay. Why can't I get it to go where it's supposed to go? There we go. Hold on. Let's do this. Wait a minute, that's not it. Why am I having a hard time here?
Yep, technical difficulties, Johnny. Hang tight.
There it is.
Live TV.
There it is.
Oh.
All right, I got it. All right, now look to the left of that girl. As you can see, she's in a little bit different position in the next shot that she was in the last shot. She's moved a little bit. Now, hold on. Let me see. Can I enlarge this? Look to that woman. Look for that. Look at that girl behind her.
Ooh.
See this?
That is strange.
Like this, the one girl's giving the peace sign or whatever, and then she's got her hands in front of her mouth, and there's something behind her. It kind of looks like a face, like a part of a face peering out behind her.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like it's wearing like almost like a nun.
Yeah, right. Let me see. Can I go in any? Let me see if I can go in any more here.
Yeah, there's definitely somebody back there.
Now, question is that photoshopped in? I'm trying to look if I can see like lines or anything.
Well, it definitely does kind of give off a little bit of a Photoshop vibe, but at the same time, I mean, because you could definitely see hair strands down there.
Yep.
So it's definitely, in my opinion, that's definitely hair, and it's not her hair.
Right. Hello, MC Nemesis Radio. Thanks for coming in. Nice to see you. I don't think I've ever seen you before. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, I mean, I'm tending to think that this is a Photoshop because it doesn't look proportionately, like it. If that's the face, like say that's a nun, right, with a black habit, the face looks too big to me. Like the rest of the face would be too big. That's not
Yeah,
showing there.
yeah, no, you're right. It doesn't. It looks like that face was photoshopped onto the hair.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it just does not look right behind her ear. That
Yeah.
that transition is got a Photoshop look to it. I don't know how to explain it, but I
Right.
think you're the same thing.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this. I'm going to go with this being a Photoshop.
Now, can you zoom back out for a sec? Because I seen something else too. That
Yeah.
hand is weird. Farther, it's whose hand is that? But behind the girl in the yellow.
Oh, I think there's a kid sitting at the table. I think there's just a kid sitting there. You can't see the
There is,
kids.
okay, there is a kid there because I thought that's what
Yeah.
you were talking about at first. I was like, yeah, what is that
Yeah.
hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's it's when you zoom in, it does look pretty good from back here. I mean,
Right. The farther away it is, the more creepy it is.
now if you were the one that took that picture though, and you seen that,
Yeah.
then what?
Yeah. I mean, listen, if I'm the one taking it, I'm shitting my pants, excuse my French, because like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, then it's a whole different story, right? Because you're the
Yeah,
one.
exactly. I'm like,
Because
whoa.
that's an evil looking thing, if you ask
Yeah.
me.
Yep. Exactly. Hello, Gina. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Patty is in the house. Good to see you. All right. So
GDN
let's
votes fake.
get rid of this. Get rid of that. Go back to that. I like this one. I like this view better. There you go. All right. Let's go on. Now I have, let's see. Did that. Okay. All right, let's do this. I got two videos. Now let's look at this one. Now, this one is a security cam, like somebody's like ring cam, something like that, I guess. It's in color. It's not black and white. It's not like night vision or anything like that. And you'll see in the picture a dog on a rooftop barking. And you're going to look at the street and see what's going on in the street. This is kind of a small thing, so it might be a little hard to see, but let me play it and it'll happen again. Here we go.
I see.
Yeah.
Weird.
And it's a person running, right? But I mean, it's obviously legs, but how does that happen?
Yeah, that is weird. Can you play it again? Oh, there.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Let me play the close up again. Here's the close up. So there's definitely something there. The dog sees it. The dog's barking at it, and it's a guy. My guess is it's a guy running by. But how does this happen on a camera? Where you see like just the lower torso and the legs.
It's almost like he's running on all fours.
see. Let me see it from
Or
farther away.
he just tripped, and he's like falling forward and running at the same time. But it
Oh,
kind
I know
of
what you're saying. Yeah.
it looks like he's trying to run like a dog.
And he leaves a trail behind him, so to speak.
That's
Like,
true too. Yeah, that's true. That dog is like, what in the heck is that?
yeah, the dog's going nuts. But Gianni says it's actually common for cameras to do at night, but it's lit up though, Gianni. It's not a night vision camera. This is like you could see the light all over all over here. That's what puzzles me about this is that there's so much light from the street or wherever, from the house. I don't know. Like why would you only see legs and a lower torso? Zelda says it's an animal. I don't think it's an animal. I think it's a person. I think it's a person's legs running. And
It reminds me of one time when I was out in my garage. This was probably like 20 something years ago. And I had a tarp draped over like my carport. Okay.
right.
I just got off work. It's still dark out. And I go out to my garage for something. And as I'm shutting the garage and walking away, the wind kind of catches that tarp. And in my mind, I thought somebody was coming out from behind the tarp, like after me. It scared the living crap out of me. And my legs literally is the opposite of that guy. My legs were in front of me. It took a second for my body to catch up to my leg. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, and I just started running. So it was.
Feet don't fail me now.
Yes. And then I realized it was just the wind. Oh, I don't know. That one's just kind of creepy and unbelievable at the same time. I don't know.
I mean, my guess it's something to do with the camera, but I don't understand how that happens. But it's definitely something to do with the camera. It's definitely a guy running by, and that dog's going nuts because of it.
Now, when the animals react, that's when it gets real scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right?
Because especially like I grew up around cats, and I always remember this one story my mom telling when the cat me and my sister were just little, but the cat looked down the hallway, and I don't care what she said. It looked up, but she grabbed us and ran out of the house because it scared her so bad. Like your animals sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. So very interesting.
The animals are like kind of an early warning system to something like that. Like they always say that animals can detect a earthquake or a tornado before it happens, type of stuff. So I would trust the animals. I would like, that's a good warning sign. Get out of there. All right, let's see here.
Yeah, because it's one thing to Photoshop or fake a video, I guess. It's another thing to involve an animal in it.
Right.
Right. Just a whole nother difficulty of fooling us.
Right. How are you going to do that? It's pretty difficult to do that, to get the dog to be part of it. All right. This is another one of these. Now, this one is night vision. This is taking place in a department store at night. The night camera motion detector goes off, and this is what they find. Supposedly there was no one in the store at the time. As you can see, there's an escalator over here. There's an escalator in the far right, and you're going to see it looked like someone comes off of the escalator. If we can get this to play right, here we go.
The thought of being in a vacant department store at night terrifies me too.
Mm-hmm. It happened quickly, but he'll come again.
Yeah, no, I definitely see it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I would not want to be in a place like that at night by myself.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what you're going to see. Something like that. I promise you probably would see something like that or hear it.
Right.
You know, and when you're in a place when there's so many people for so many years, and a lot of the people that have been that, you know, like there's malls that have been around a long time, and a lot of those people, like our parents, they're long gone, but they used to
Right.
shop at in that same building. You know,
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It creeps me out. It doesn't creep me out, but I just wouldn't want to be in a mall in the middle of the night. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, department stores. Yep. Hospitals. I mean, like hospitals. Listen. I mean, people die in hospitals every day. There's people. There's
Yeah,
deaths there every day. Just the way it
yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what to take of this. I mean, you could say it's a camera glitch or whatever, but if nobody was in the store at night, what is this if nobody's in the store? So either they're lying, or and then the camera's just picking them up. I mean, they're not moving that fast that I would think it would blur. I don't think it's moving that fast, right? It doesn't. It's like someone strolling through the off of the escalator. So.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. That's it almost kind of looks like we're looking in a mirror
Mm-hmm.
at it, but that doesn't explain an invisible person.
Johnny's Mr. Naysayer today. Look at this. I was in a mall at night once in 1979. It was not creepy. So he's contradicting you. It's not creepy.
Yeah, I still call me a wuss. I'm not going.
Ah. There you go. That was a tall Bigfoot. Was it ghost? Was it Bigfoot? It was a tall ghost. Was it Bigfoot?
It could have been a little midget. It still would have got me screaming like a bird.
Maybe
Was
it's a ghost of a basketball player. What do I know? I don't know. Who knows? Basketball players shop too.
I always get like I'll scare myself by thinking that like it'll be late at night and you'll be in like a garage or something. You're like, oh man, what if the lights went out and the door just shut by itself? Like what would you do? You're already in a place where everything's locked and the lights are already out. Oh, you'll be tripping over clothes and running into those
Yeah.
sunglasses. I'm good.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just think about it. Like if there's an if it's at night and there's a power outage, just think about that experience where everything just goes black instantly. It jars you. You're not prepped for that. It's not something that normally happens.
Now, I will say I will sleep in a mall with no power before I sleep in that hotel with power.
Oh, with the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I had to pick, it would be at the dark mall versus that hotel under any circumstances.
I tend to agree on that one. Yeah.
There was a great interview with what's her name? Not Shelley Long.
Duvall.
Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
So I think it was her last interview before she passed away, and it's on a YouTube channel. I think his name is the Grimm Collective, and he goes around. Him and his girlfriend go around to. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes, I watched.
Okay.
I just watched something of theirs yesterday. They were in Germany, and they were at the gravesite of Nosferatu. What is that? The vampire film, Nos something or other. That 1920 silent vampire film, Nosferatu. They were in Germany. They have a good channel.
They do, yeah. They go to all kinds. I mean, they'll go to places like current movies too. Like they did like Stand By Me and all these. Well, they interviewed Shelley Duvall, and it's a great interview. I think it's the last one before she passed away, and she talks about how scared she was filming The Shining.
Oh,
like
really?
it really messed her up. She said. Yeah, it's a great interview. You should look it up. It's
I'll look at that. I'm definitely going to look at that. Yeah.
No, those were good videos. I mean, those were probably some of the best ones so far, I would say, as far as just like giving me the creeps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. I mean, And you know what? I got all of these off of Reddit this week.
Okay.
So that was new for me. Usually I get them from YouTube channels, but I got all of these off of Reddit because the YouTube channels weren't delivering this week. I didn't see anything worth showing.
Huh. She did kind of turn into a bit of, but she was such a nice person though. She was such a nice lady. They did her
she's
dirty.
not related to Robert Duvall, right? They weren't related.
I don't
They
think
just had
so.
the same, they just had the same last name. I don't think they were related.
Remember she did the HBO special, those fairy tales?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
I used to love watching those as a kid. I can't remember the name of that. But.
I remember she did, well, she was Olive Oil in Popeye. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good one. Robin Williams. That was like a musical, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was it was a musical. Yeah.
Yeah,
she did pass away, Gianni. She did pass away. I remember hearing about it.
Well, right on, ALV. Thanks for having me. I have to leave my house at 7 a.m. for an event tomorrow that doesn't get over till 7 p.m. So.
Oh, okay.
It's a long day.
Best of luck with that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for hanging out, and have a good night.
All right. Happy Friday, guys. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap for me. I hope you enjoyed it. We had some 5 stories of Christmas ghosts of the past, and we had some fun with our debunking our paranormal videos or pictures. So, as always, thank you each and every one of you for joining. Please hit the like button. Try that hype stuff. I don't think it really works because some people were doing it and I didn't see any difference in the views. But who knows? The hyping button, whatever the heck it is. Who knows? YouTube, they always come up with these new things. But thank you all for supporting the channel. Next week, we'll be back with 5 more Christmas ghost stories. So put us down. The thumbnail's already up. Click notify so that you won't miss it. And until then, on behalf of Lenny and Victor and Edgar and myself, I want to say stay scared, and I will see you next week. God bless. Almost didn't blow it out. Good night, all. Have a great weekend.